Good morning, I am Anupama. This case study is about British Petroleum. British Petroleum, founded in 1909 as the Anglo-Prussian Oil and Gas Company headquartered in London. It's the sixth largest oil and gas company by production and fifth largest company by annual revenue. Its major fields of operations are explorations, productions, refining, distributions, and marketing of the hydrocarbon production. British Petroleum operation in over 80 countries of the world.
Still got about 11 or 15 people missing.
The goal of the project was to increase production and profits. I'm sorry to announce the project failed and we lost 11 lives. Our task now is to earn the trust back that we lost and have a sustainable BP environment for the future.
Now we are operating 6 remote operated vehicles simultaneously around the blowout preventer, both monitoring the blowout preventer and trying to close in the flow of oil. Development Driller 3 is now on location and we expect to start drilling the relief well within 48 hours. We've also a new technique identified yesterday afternoon, which is to try to deploy dispersants at the source, at the location subsea.
Well, the dome this morning is about 200 feet above the leak, being lowered very carefully onto the leak, taking a pipe up to the vessel on the surface to process the oil. This has never been done in 5,000 feet of water. It's a technology first, so we cannot be confident that it will work.
Our next attempt will be using what we call the top hat. It's approximately 4 feet in diameter. It's about 5 feet tall, weighs just less than 2 tons. The difference in this and the previous dome is this dome is actually built such that we can hopefully exclude much of the water that causes the difficulty with the hydrates. Smaller size should provide an opportunity to deal with the problems we encountered with the first dome.
The goal is to put enough mud into the well bore to produce zero pressure so they can put a cement plug over it. This last weekend we tried the top kill exercise. There were 3 different top kill attempts made in 3 consecutive days. 30,000 barrels of mud was placed down the well bore, unsuccessful at overcoming the pressure of the hydrocarbons coming up through the well bore. As a result of that, we've gone to oil containment rather than capping the well. We're successfully able to do a shear cut of the marine riser pipe. That is that 5,000 feet of pipe that's crumpled on the ocean floor that used to connect the wellhead to the mobile drilling unit. We are in the process right now of trying to do the second fine cut with the diamond wire saw. That saw blade is becoming stuck inside the riser pipe. They're working to move the riser pipe to set it free. The goal is later on today to finish that cut and then to be able to put a containment device over the top of the wellhead and start containing the oil, bring it to the surface and actually flare off the gas and actually produce product moving forward. For the first time in a couple of days, I have some good news. We have just cut the riser pipe off the lower marine package. The next step will be to put the containment cap over what's left of the riser pipe on the lower marine riser package and start seeing if we can move gas and oil up the pipe. We're in the process now of starting to bring hydrocarbons or the oil up from the reservoir and actually starting to produce it. In a vessel called the Discoverer Enterprise, we were able to bring up and produce 6,000 barrels of oil from the well. The goal is to continue that production and raise it up and hopefully take the pressure off the well.
Okay, there's some key issues I want to mention concerning the BP case study. They have a whole range of issues with problems while they had this kind of issue, but I just want to summarize into just a few points. First of all, let's start with scope creep. It actually happened because there was an extension of the project without a corresponding increase in resources or even the timeline that was expended. It wasn't so, and that was why they entered or had that kind of issue that happened along the way. That was just a major problem. Scope creep. Extension, no increase in timeline, no increase in resources. Outside the scope creep, we have lack of adequate planning. There was no adequate and timely or quality planning that ensured. In fact, what they did was just they have a focus, they just go into it. After all, they've been doing this for a very long time, but they didn't have to look at the quality planning, which has to do with the resources. Is it fit for purpose? Is it going to carry them for the entire period of the program? It wasn't really there. Outside lack of quality program planning, the next thing was just what we call weak risk management. Risk management, they've been doing this for years, but what they did is just to go in there without actually studying the terrain, without actually looking at the environment, how it is. Okay, they're supposed to look at what might go wrong and is it going to be within a tolerable allowance. They didn't really have that in place, so weak risk management was an issue as well. Aside from that, there's something else that they did, which was more or less like a lack of timely decisions, sluggish decisions. Because look at BP, they're one of the major oil industries, okay, but at some point they knew about the Piper Alpha incident, which happened a long time ago. They're supposed to have learned a whole lot from the incidents, but they didn't do that, because what happened in Piper Alpha, they were actually waiting for the boss who was staying far off where the scene of the problem was. So it took a whole while before the boss, who was just far away, can give an order before they have a situation at hand, which is supposed to, react to it. So that's exactly what happened with BP. They were just sluggish in taking timely decisions. When it is critical, it becomes emergency, you need to take that radical approach, that radical decision to just stop it and put it there and then without waiting for an escalation of problem. So these are just the major key issues that happen with BP. The whole lot that is not even in the public space, but these are just the key issues while we had this with a BP case study.
The project of British Petroleum in Gulf of Mexico is a complete failure. So I found some recommendations for the British Petroleum project. So the first point I found is, before starting any project, the employees must be trained according to their job responsibility, so that they can perform their duties correctly. So, and also like that, the line manager and the upper level manager must ensure that all the quality standards in the project must be completely fulfilled in the project. So the line manager and upper manager want to completely monitor the standards going on. And the another thing is that a company must place adequate number of experts on every project who can work with skilled workers and can guide them in order for a successful implementation of the project. So like that, the project will be a good project. So the other point is like that, the accuracy of all electronic equipments working inside the project must be verified after periodic intervals, because the electronic equipments have the ability to, sometimes it will be failed. So it will be like a periodic interval. So the managers or the technicians must verify in the project itself. So the next recommendation I want to give is like the organization must develop a culture where employees can understand their responsibilities and potential risk of making a wrong decision.
After analyzing this case study, we came up with the widespread conclusion with the lessons learned from this project failure are board members should provide oversight for the risk management practices for the best interest of stakeholders. Scenario planning should be considered for those identified risks which has no current solutions exits. and executives need to consider the potential risks, the ones that carry a low likelihood of happening but could destroy a company at one go. And the last one is risk management isn't about avoiding risks, but about taking the right risks at the best time after considering the most appropriate precautions.